Before we begin, let's get one thing straight. Pain is not just what you feel when you fall down. It's not just a broken arm or a scraped knee. Real pain, the kind no one talks about, doesn't bleed. It doesn't bruise. It hides. And the scariest part? Sometimes not even you know it's there. Because pain isn't always loud. Sometimes it's the quiet you sit in at night, the silence that follows a text that never comes. It's the moment your laugh fades and no one notices. It's scrolling past hundreds of faces and feeling like not one of them truly sees you. People think pain means tears, but the truth is, pain can look like smiling too much. It can look like staying busy all day because being alone with your thoughts is worse than exhaustion. It can look like being the strong one because you've been strong for so long you don't even know how to fall apart anymore. You walk into a room and no one sees it, but your chest feels heavy, your breath is shallow. You're laughing, but it's empty. And you wonder, is this how I'm supposed to feel forever? That's the truth about pain. It's invisible, but it's everywhere. It's in the people who answer, "I'm fine," too fast. It's in the girl who posts selfies every day, just hoping someone will notice she's drowning. It's in the boy who jokes all the time because silence terrifies him. It's in you. It's in me. And it's not weakness. It's not failure. It's just real. And no one warned us about that part. They told us to chase dreams, but didn't say that failure would hurt this much. They told us to find love, but never said it might leave without warning. They told us to grow up, but forgot to mention that adulthood feels like holding your breath all the time. You were never taught what to do when a friend becomes a stranger, when a parent doesn't show up, when someone you love stops loving you back. So you carry it. You carry the goodbye that never got said, the apology you never received, the version of yourself that didn't get to exist. And it weighs on you, quietly, daily, until one day you realize this isn't just sadness. This isn't just stress. This is pain, the kind that hides in your routines, that buries itself in your habits, that makes you snap at people you love, not because you're angry, but because you're tired of pretending you're okay. But listen carefully. There is nothing wrong with you. Let me say that again. There is nothing wrong with you. You are not broken. You are not weak. You are just feeling what so many are too afraid to admit. You are feeling deeply in a world that tells you to stay numb. You are carrying stories that were never meant to be carried alone. You are surviving, and that's something to be proud of. Because the truth about pain is this: it doesn't define you. It doesn't have to own you, but it does need to be seen. And you deserve to be seen too. Not for your achievements, not for your smile, but for your truth. For the nights you cried quietly so no one would hear. For the mornings you got out of bed even when it felt impossible. For the way you still care, even when your heart is tired. Pain doesn't mean you're losing. It means you're human. It means you've loved. It means you've hoped. It means you've lived through something that mattered. And one day, you'll tell someone your story, and they'll say, "Me too." And in that moment, you'll realize that pain, as isolating as it feels, is the one thing that connects us all. But here's the part no one prepares you for. Sometimes the pain lingers long after the moment is gone. The event ends. The person leaves. The breakup, the betrayal, the failure. It's over. But your mind, it keeps replaying it. Late at night, in the middle of something normal, at the edge of laughter, it creeps back in. A memory, a sentence, a version of you that wasn't enough. And even though you survived it, somehow you're still inside it, still carrying it, still asking yourself, why did that hurt so much? Why hasn't it gone away? Because pain doesn't obey time. It doesn't fade with the calendar. It fades when it's heard, when it's held, when it's finally allowed to exist without shame. But that's hard in a world that keeps telling you to get over it, to smile, to move on, to not be so emotional. So you shrink it down, hide it beneath your schedule, mask it with achievement, pretend it never happened. But the body remembers, the heart remembers, and deep down, so do you. So here's a radical idea. What if we stopped hiding our pain? What if we gave it a name, a space, a breath? What if we said, "Yes, I'm hurting, but I'm here"? What if strength wasn't about silence, but about honesty, about saying, "I'm not okay right now, but I'm still trying"? Because trying is brave. Getting up each day is brave. Caring again after heartbreak is brave. Letting people in, even just a little, that's not weakness. That's strength. The truth is, most people won't see your battles. They won't know the nights you almost gave up. They won't understand the weight you carry every single day. And they don't have to, because you know. You've lived it. And that makes you powerful, not just because you endured the pain, but because you kept going despite it. Let's be honest. Sometimes healing is ugly. It's not peaceful or graceful. It's crying on the floor at 2 a.m. It's relapsing into doubt. It's making progress and then falling backward. It's feeling okay for 1 week and then suddenly not. That's normal. That's human. That's healing. And no, it doesn't always get tied up in a pretty bow. Some chapters end without closure. Some people hurt you and never say sorry. Some wounds leave scars. But that doesn't mean the pain wins. It means it shaped you. It means it taught you. It means you are still here, more real, more open, more aware. And maybe that's what pain is trying to do. Not break you, but wake you up. Wake you up to what matters, to who you are, to who stayed, to what you deserve. Maybe pain doesn't mean the end of your story. Maybe it's just the part where everything changes, where the masks fall off, where the truth rises up, where you meet yourself finally in the quiet wreckage and say, I see you, and I'm not going anywhere. And maybe, for the first time, that voice inside you softens. Not because the pain is gone, but because you've stopped fighting yourself. You've stopped pretending it didn't hurt. You've stopped blaming yourself for being human. Because here's the secret. Pain doesn't make you broken. Hiding it does. Running from it does. But facing it, that's where your power is born. It's in the moment you say, yes, this happened to me. Yes, it hurt. But I am not my pain. I am the one who survived it. There's a strength in that, a quiet one, the kind you don't post about, the kind that lives in your eyes, your voice, your presence. It shows up when you comfort someone else, because you've been there. It shows up when you choose kindness, even when you've been shown cruelty. It shows up when you don't give up, even when the world gives you every reason to. And slowly, your pain becomes a guide. It teaches you what not to ignore, what to stand for, what love should feel like, what home should never be. It makes you sensitive to others, not weaker, but deeper. It opens your heart in a world that tries to harden you. And if that's not strength, then what is? Look, I know, you didn't ask for this. You didn't sign up to learn these lessons the hard way. You just wanted peace. You just wanted to be okay. But life had other plans. And here you are, wiser, quieter, stronger in the places that cracked. So stop trying to go back to who you were before the pain. That person doesn't exist anymore, and that's okay. You've grown, you've changed, you've evolved. Now you get to rebuild, not from what broke you, but from what's left. And you might find what's left is more than enough. The heart still beats. The soul still burns. The hope, somehow, still flickers. And if you're reading this, it means your story isn't over, not even close. There are still people to meet who will see you, truly see you. There are still places that will feel like home. There are still moments that will take your breath away, not from sadness, but from wonder. And maybe, just maybe, you'll look back and say, I didn't think I'd make it, but I did, and I'm proud of the person I became. Because that's the truth about pain no one talks about. It hurts, but it also transforms. It breaks you open so something new can grow. And in the quiet aftermath of pain, something strange happens. You begin to feel again. Not just the sorrow, but the tiny flickers of joy you thought were lost forever. It might start with sunlight warming your face on a morning you almost didn't wake up for, or the sound of a song you used to love that now, somehow, doesn't hurt anymore. It's subtle, almost like the world is apologizing in whispers, like it knows what it put you through. And now it's offering little moments of grace. You laugh, not the forced kind, the real one, and you surprise yourself, because for the first time in a long time, it doesn't feel like betrayal to be happy. You start to see beauty again, in people, in yourself, in things you once overlooked. And it's not because the pain is gone. It's because you've made space for more. You've expanded. You've stretched your heart around the ache. And in doing so, you've created room for light to come in. This is healing, not a straight line, not a destination, but a returning to yourself, to the parts you abandoned trying to survive, to the dreams you buried beneath all that grief. You start to remember what you love, what makes you feel alive, what kind of silence soothes you, not the kind that stings. You speak more softly to yourself. You stop needing to be perfect. You stop apologizing for existing. And instead, you begin to belong to yourself. You realize the world may not always understand your pain, but you do. And that is enough. Because now you are your own safe place. Now you trust your own voice again. Now you see the signs you used to miss. The red flags, the worn-out patterns, the subtle ways you gave yourself away. And you say, no more. Not because you're bitter, but because you're finally awake. You protect your peace. You set boundaries. You choose softness without self-sacrifice. You stop chasing people who never knew how to hold you. You stop proving your worth because you've already proven it to yourself. And maybe, just maybe, you start to forgive. Not for them, but for you. Because holding on to resentment is just another way pain tries to stay, and you're done letting it rent space in your heart. So you let go, not because it didn't matter, but because you matter more. And this is the part of the story no one talks about. The day you choose yourself, not in anger, not in revenge, but in love. Real love, the kind that says, I see every scar, I know every story, and I still choose you. Not because you're perfect, but because you're you. Fully, finally, unapologetically. And when that day comes, everything changes. Not all at once, but deeply, permanently, quietly. Because the truth about pain no one talks about is this. It's the doorway to knowing yourself, to finding your voice, to living with your whole heart. And once you walk through it, you'll never settle for less than real again. So if you're still carrying pain, the kind no one sees, the kind you've never put into words, Let this be your reminder. You're not alone. You never were. There are others walking through quiet storms, holding their hearts together with invisible thread, still showing up, still trying, still hoping. And that is extraordinary. You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't need every answer. Just keep breathing, keep feeling, keep choosing to stay. Because even on your hardest days, you are still worthy of love, of healing, of peace. Your pain does not define your ending. It's simply a part of your becoming. And one day, you'll look back on this version of you, the one who kept going despite it all, and you'll whisper, "Thank you for not giving up." That is the truth about pain no one talks about. It hurts, but it also makes room for a stronger, softer, braver you. And that is a story worth telling.